Hello and welcome to the weekly knockout, GroundPunch.com's roundup of the biggest gaming news. This week is shooter-centric with both the new Battlefield and Call of Duty games being announced. This week we have two big game announcements for you, with both Battlefield 1 and Call of Duty Infinite Warfare being announced. So starting with Battlefield 1, it's long been rumoured that EA's new Battlefield game would be set in World War I, and this has now been confirmed. They released a trailer, which you can watch on GroundPunch.com, or the video service of your choice. So Battlefield 1 has been announced. It's going to release on the 21st of October this year for PC, PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. As I said, it's going to be set in World War I, going to feature battles on land, sea, in the air, and you're going to be in France, Italy, the Arabian Desert. There's going to be a focus on melee combat with featured weapons including spiked batons, trench shovels and rapiers. There's also going to be trench warfare, mustard gas, and dogfighting in biplanes. So it's quite an exciting trailer. It's going to be interesting to see how fast the combat is, because typically a lot of first-person shooters these days, they're quite fast, but World War I is a much slower conflict. So it's going to be really interesting to see how historically accurate EA go with Battlefield 1. There have been some rumours that it's going to be almost an alternate history type take on World War I, but these haven't been confirmed at the moment. So it's going to be really interesting to see what they do with the game. There are going to be collector's editions available, and the details of those you can see on GroundPunch.com. Moving on to Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. Call of Duty Infinite Warfare is really continuing on with Call of Duty's approach of just bigger, louder, more explosive. So it's going to be taking place in space this time, interestingly. You're going to be engaging in inter-solar system battles, battling for different resources from different planets. And the gameplay is going to feature dogfighting, zero-gravity fighting, and the typical boots-on-the-ground combat Call of Duty is known for. A few extra details on the campaign. It's not going to support co-op, as previous entries in the series have, but it is going to have zombies, and it's going to be, the zombies mode will be developed by Infinity Ward, which is the first time Infinity Ward have actually taken a stab at doing the zombie mode. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do with that. But more interesting than Infinite Warfare, for me personally at least, is a Call of Duty Modern Warfare remaster, which I'm really excited to play, but you can't play the Modern Warfare remaster unless you buy the special editions of the games. So there are several special editions available, and again, you can read about them on GroundPunch.com, but it's your fairly standard, you get a steelbook case, you get a soundtrack, or if you're going the digital route, you get the season pass. But basically, you do have to spend $80 or more if you want to play the Modern Warfare remaster, which itself is going to feature 10 maps, and it's going to feature the campaign fully remastered with new textures and all that jazz. And yeah, it's a real bummer that if you want to play Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered, one of the most iconic shooters pretty much ever, you are going to have to fork out a lot more money than you perhaps want to. So that does it for the big stories. There's a couple of smaller stories. The Division Update 1.2, we have some new details about that. The incursion is going to be called Broken Circle, and is described as go head-to-head with the Rikers and disable their SAM system to secure the Manhattan airspace. And that has a recommended gear score of 220. From the description, it sounds like it's going to be more or less basically a reskin of the current incursion, Falcon Lost, which is a disappointment. With the incursions, a lot of people, myself included, were hoping for more raid type activities, and what we got was more or less a wave-based horde mode, which was really disappointing. And disable a SAM system, it's basically disabling the APC all over again. So hopefully they do something to make this a little bit more interesting, but at the moment it sounds like it's going to be what we're fairly used to with the Division. More interestingly, perhaps, there's going to be a new Dark Zone tier. So this is going to be designed for players with gear scores of 201 and above. And it's going to feature NPCs level 32, 33 and 34. And they'll drop loot that is geared between 204 and 240. So that's going to be really interesting to see what they do with the Dark Zone. It's a really interesting idea, but they haven't done too much with it yet. So it's going to be really exciting to see how they expand upon that idea. There's also going to be updates to the PvE areas of the game, but we don't know what they are yet. And if you are concerned about patch 1.2, they have addressed the concerns that many people had over the 1.1 patch, which introduced a number of issues to the game. And they've confirmed that they're not going to release it until it's rock solid. That's a quote, rock solid. So they haven't dated the update yet, and that's because they want to make sure that it is tip top, that you're not going to have the issues you had in 1.1. Mighty Number 9 gets a final release date, maybe? This is a game that is nearly reaching Last Guardian levels of ridiculousness when it comes to just not coming out. So apparently it's got a release date that's final this time. It's the 24th of June. I wouldn't take that as gospel given this game's history, but that's what Inafune says. It's not going to be coming to PlayStation Vita and Nintendo 3DS. At that date, they're going to release those versions of the game at a later date. So, disappointing if you were looking to play it on those two platforms or any other platform. 24th of June is apparently the release date. I'll believe it when I see it. Bethesda have also come out with a few pieces of news. There's a trailer for the Far Harbor DLC, which is the big DLC coming to Fallout 4. In terms of landmass, it's the biggest featured in any Bethesda DLC, so that's going to be really interesting. And that's going to be available on the 19th of May, so again, go check that trailer out, groundpunch.com, or the video service of your choice. Free to season pass holders, or £20, $25 if you want to make a standalone purchase. There's also a release date for Dishonored 2, and that's going to be 11th November 2016. And we're going to hear more about that at their E3 conference, as you might expect, but they have confirmed that there will be a gameplay demo taking place at that conference. So stay tuned for that as well. Naughty Dog have talked about Uncharted 4's multiplayer roadmap. So all the maps and modes are going to be available for free. You will be able to purchase things in the multiplayer mode. You're going to be able to buy chests. And these chests are going to unlock random items such as vanity items and also weapons. Now the chests can be obtained through normal gameplay, but if you want to go the quick route, the microtransactions are available. They are insistent that there will be no pay to win, so that's always good to hear. And these packs are going to be released summer, autumn, winter and spring. So expect a lot of support for the game up until, and hopefully beyond, spring 2017. Another game announcement. EA has confirmed that Respawn are working on a new third-person Star Wars game. Now we don't know any details outside of that, but we know that it's being developed by Stig Asmussen, which is a name that I have absolutely destroyed and not at all pronounced correctly, but he is the former God of War 3 creator. He wrote on Respawn's blog, so you can go have a look what he said about that upcoming title. But Respawn, of course, they made Titanfall, they're making Titanfall 2, they have really good gameplay in their game, so fingers crossed. God of War, again, a game with great gameplay, so hopefully this new Star Wars game, whatever form it takes, is going to have some really good gameplay, and they do talk about trying to create some innovative gameplay mechanics, so let's hope they achieve that. And the final piece of news for this week, Nintendo will not sell NX at a loss. So this is historically what Nintendo do. They don't like to sell hardware at a loss, although they did sell the Wii U at a loss. Now this isn't major news, but it does mean that there is a ceiling on how much power they can pack into the NX and still be selling the console at a competitive price point. So just something to sort of consider. A lot of people are expecting this to sort of blow the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One out of the water in terms of the power that Nintendo is packing into this thing. Well, if they're not selling it at a loss, there is a ceiling to how much they can pack into the console. But that's just a tiny tidbit of information. We're still not going to know any major details about the NX really till the end of the year. And that's going to be a wrap for the weekly knockout for the week ending 7th of May 2016. A couple of trailers you may want to peruse on groundpunch.com, the Doom launch trailer and the Persona 5 Japanese release date trailer, so you can go watch them if you want. And be sure to join me next week when you'll have another roundup of the biggest news of the week. Thank you and goodbye.